Hi, gratitude seekers, and welcome to a new episode of the Gratitude Podcast. Today, I want you to meet Arnaud St. Paul, CEO and co-founder of HealThruWords.com. I will let him tell you a bit about himself and what he does. Arnaud?
Hello, thank you so much for receiving me. It's an honor to be on the Gratitude Podcast.
Awesome. It's an honor to have you here. So do you want to tell us a bit
Sure.
what you do and what your vision is with your work?
Yes, we've created HealThruWords with that idea that we want to help people to connect deeper with their heart. And we coined that word or that concept named heartfulness. Which is to help or empower leaders and their teams and individuals to become more positive, let go of their negative self-talk through the use and the practice of heartfulness. So what is heartfulness? It's based on 4 pillars. One is obviously positive words, because at the end of it, this is the way we're relating with our lives and our reality. The other is mindfulness. Which is a starting point from which you can choose whatever reality and whatever experience you want to have. The third one is gratitude, and it's very much related with our talk today. With gratitude, we can choose who we want to be. And the last one is physical exercise, because at the end of it, all of this can only exist if we act upon it and we make it happen in our reality. And by using our body as a vehicle of that gratefulness or that mindfulness or using these positive words, we are able to actually have an impact on our environment. So by practicing the 4 of them together, we can open our hearts, or open up to our hearts, better said, because it's always there. We can become the highest version of ourselves, and really be ready and allow ourselves to connect with the positive outcomes that we're wishing for. And so we've developed a method and curriculums and workshops around this. We're working on an app right now that will allow anybody to actually take action on their helping themselves to reframe their negative patterns into positive ones, practicing positive words, gratitude, and so on and so forth. And so that they can really, again, become the person that they really are instead of being the person they believe they are, which sometimes is the same, but most of the time there's a huge difference between one and the other. And if we can become and reinforce that uniqueness, that magical being that is inside but is not let go of yet, through the practice of gratitude, of positive words, of heartfulness in general, then we have a winner. We have an amazing being that is able to shine everywhere and everyone, and become or serve the world in the most beautiful way. And that's our focus, is to help people who wants to commit to themselves, to make a difference for themselves and also for the world, to make that jump, that shift, so that they can realize all their wishes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think we all need this, and we all go through times when we need to get from the negative habits that we have to more positive, to more creative habits that can bring beautiful things in the world.
Mm. Yes,
So,
indeed.
speaking of words, do you have a favorite quote on gratitude?
Yes, and so the method that we're using is based on inspirational messages that we have created, and as I was mentioning to you, we have about 1,200 of them, and they are crafted to help you open up to yourself. So one of them about gratitude, which is one of our categories, one of our stepping stones to heartfulness, of course. This one is today, simply bless everyone that is a part of your world. Why? Because by blessing everyone around you, you have that power of blessing, number one. And number two, by blessing your world, you are blessing yourself at the same time because it's part of you as well. It's a reflection of you. So you're expressing gratitude toward the world around you, and therefore you are readying yourself to receive more of the same positive outcome that you're wishing for. So it's a great simple quote that we have here, that if we meditate on it a few minutes in the day and then we apply it, more importantly, we can make a big difference for ourselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And I was thinking, you are saying the fact that we are not all the time positive, and we have some negative habits. And I was just wondering, what do you do when it's hard to be grateful, when life gets in the way, and what are some tips that you can offer us about
Well,
grateful?
we can be grateful about many different things. One that I was lately, I was advising people to use is uh, being grateful not only about the sun or the beautiful birds around ourselves and that kind of things, but also be grateful of what is or what is going to be. We don't necessarily need to be grateful about something that is now. It could be something I'm super grateful because I'm going to have an amazing, or not, I have already the amazing house that I have in my dreams, but it's not there necessarily. So, not looking at what is and being grateful of even the desires that we have is an amazing thing. And we can stay there. It's a way for us to be massaging that place where we are looking to realize and manifest at some point or another. And one that I just discovered that is amazing. It's so simple, but I didn't see it. And thanks to Neville, actually, that's where I saw it. Is to be grateful for what we have already realized. What I mean by that is, let's say that you're in a business and you're you always want to do more, right? Or
Yeah, no, I
to have
totally.
more, like you want to be already reaching out 15 million people and more in the podcast, for instance, right?
Yeah.
But to be grateful about what you have been already able to achieve is amazing, because it puts you in a very humble place, a place where you've been able to do all that, even if it's very, very small, it doesn't matter. And you've been able to do it with the small resources you had, and et cetera, et cetera. That's an amazing place to be in, because that's where you can create from. So yeah, I would finish with that one.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's a matter of focus. If we only look at the things that we want to achieve from now on, and we see ourselves, okay, I'm just here, and I want to get here, um, and I want to get there. I mean, it's um, it's pressuring sometimes, and we forget the fact that wow, we did so much. We got to this point. Uh, for instance, 1 year ago, if we would think that we would be doing what we are doing right now, whoa, we would be amazed of something like that. But we tend to forget, and yeah, this helps a lot to think about the things that we already have achieved. And I think this works also in relationships.
Of course, by any means. And one other thing that I'm advising the people that we help is, for instance, to take every day having 10 different items. I am thankful for this and this and that, and even write them down. And if you could do that twice, it's like a gratitude meditation, and let's do it. It's never too much. With this, we can do a lot for ourselves.
Yeah.
Opening up to ourselves.
What I practiced and saw that it was working for me. For instance, when it's not really that easy to be grateful, like I have some challenges or something like that. Saying thank you, like for instance, saying thank you 7 times, just without thinking about something in particular. When you say thank you, you get to feel that gratefulness. It's really interesting how this works. It's like a mantra. You say thank you, and you get into the state, and afterwards, it's the reasons for which you are thankful and grateful come much easier. This is really interesting.
And it is true. In your question, there is that concept of when it is difficult, right? And
Yes.
thank you for reminding me that it is true that. So when that difficulty happens, is because we're so identified with the reality at that moment. Whatever is, bothering us is taking so much space and time in our mind. That we don't have any more space for that gratefulness. So maybe when we're facing that difficulty and that trigger, these emotions that are triggered by what happens out there, we want to step back, be mindful of that process, and refocus on the inner world where the thank you is coming from. And see that just as a stepping stone towards greatness or towards more. And there will be setbacks and adventures on the process towards what you want to see manifested in the world. Saying thank you 7 times is an amazing trick.
Yeah, it really works. It's really interesting how it does work, especially when you don't have, when it's hard to think of a reason, or not just one reason, but reasons in general to be grateful. It's something that I think it's more heartful, if I can say it like that, than something that you do with your mind. It's like
Yes.
You focus back on the feeling of gratitude rather than mental reasons that you find with your mind.
Exactly. And so what we teach as well is the difference between feelings and emotions.
Okay.
And so emotions, like thoughts, by the way, are always triggered by something that is happening in our reality. They are a result of whatever is happening out there, and it's a reaction to it, right? While feelings are coming from the very core of your being. It's something that you can feel. Whatever is happening out there, it doesn't matter. It's something that stems out of you towards the outside. It's not triggered by, it can be triggered by, but it's not necessarily, as you were demonstrating earlier. And that's a very important difference because once you understand that and once you're aware of it, you can choose whether to be in an emotional state or in a feeling state. You can choose whether to be compassionate or grateful, or to be angry, and the list is long. And the thoughts, our thoughts is coming from our mind, the emotions that are coming from our emotional body and physical body, and then obviously the illnesses and so on and so forth for the physical body, are all a symptom of non-adjusted belief system that needs to be fine-tuned.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very interesting.
But feelings is the ultimate expression that we can have in all different endeavors, and in all situations. That is always the perfect response.
Wonderful.
If we can achieve that, of course.
Yeah, totally. I was wondering if you feel like in your work, like in your business, do you feel that gratitude has helped you to be successful?
Yes, by all means. It's probably the only door for us to have been successful. What I mean by that is, when you're in a business, more so at the beginning, you're facing with so many no's that one could leave it like that for.
Yeah, exactly.
More so in our case, where we have such a huge mission. We are looking at reaching out 1 billion people with a B, and
Wow.
so connecting with the financial world, the business world, and you and I can understand what our mission is about, but the kind of more mass market don't understand it yet, but they see the need. We just have to communicate it to them the right way. And so there are so many no's that you're facing again and again and again and again that you could easily lose the belief in what you're doing, right? And to be grateful, again, to be grateful and humbled by what you can have been able to do, whatever that is, even if you haven't got the client that you were looking for, got the funds that you were looking for. It doesn't matter, because at the end of it, you already arrived. So that's another concept, is whatever you have in your imagination, whatever is the vision that you have, it is already there. You just haven't gone through it yet. But if it's really there, if it's something that really inhabits you, because it's your passion and so on and so forth, then it's a matter of allowing ourselves to see the unfolding to it, right? And be grateful every step of the way, that we've been able to do this and that every day. And even if it's a very small thing, that small thing will be huge at the end, as you were saying earlier. 1 year ago, you couldn't have dreamt what you've been able to achieve today, and so on and so forth.
Exactly. I think it's in business, it's some kind of a fuel, being grateful for where you got.
It's more than that. We've been working with a company that has practiced heartfulness, so it goes a little bit beyond gratitude, but still part of it. It goes beyond that, because the results that they have seen is like increasing 40% their profits.
Wow.
Without focusing on goals, business goals and all that stuff. No. Just by practicing heartfulness, they have been able to make a huge difference for the company as well. And which is totally normal, because if we use the mind, so putting out goals and forcing and being the permanent advocate in the doing of things, we lose all the other opportunities that are out there that were there for you to serve you, but were not able to be manifested because you were in that doing mode. So if you reframe yourself and be there, and again, being that gratefulness and do things one step at a time and using positive words and be mindful, etc. Then you allow the universe to bring you more things. I don't know if you know that word. It's called pronoia.
No, I didn't hear about it.
Don't. Okay. So pronoia is the antonym of paranoia.
Wow.
And basically what it means is that the universe or the world or whatever is always looking to support you, always looking to bring you more positive outcomes and not the other way around.
Oh, how wonderful.
So if you're grateful, you allow that pronoia to happen. If you're in the doing mode, you don't.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you said the word allowing. It's really interesting that indeed the universe wants us to be better, to send us gifts, but like with asking for help or having people help us, sometimes we don't allow this.
Yes.
And I think it's somehow the same thing, that we need to allow the universe to let it
bring us his gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's what happened with this podcast. I mean, all of a sudden you appeared and poof, we had the interview a day after, and it's a beautiful gift.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, very beautiful. Yeah. And what I also wanted to talk with you about is, if you were like since you were a child, were you grateful, or do you have some kind of a meaningful experience that got you to be a more grateful person, or to find to live gratitude, to feel it?
That's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know if I've always been grateful or not. I just, I'm more present to the present moment to start with. I have practiced, for many, many years, gratefulness, and I'm grateful for who I am and today and what we're doing now. And when did I start that? So, when I was a teenager, I started on that journey towards myself. I mean, I started way earlier than that, but let's say that, I became more conscious and had a conscious practice when I was 16 or something like that. And I started then to look for myself. Who am I? That's the eternal quest. But I'm still on it.
I know.
And that's why I call myself a conscious technologist, because my purpose is to help me and others to understand consciousness, how it works, how it is articulated, because we are that, right? And so how we can understand ourselves in the deepest way possible, so that we can allow our mind to understand it, and therefore use this knowledge to become a higher version of ourselves. That's my ultimate goal. So to get back to your question, I believe I started very early, probably when I practiced different type of Eastern philosophies and yoga and meditation and so on and so forth. I must have started at that moment, but I don't have a definite moment in time where I could tell you, wow.
Yeah, okay. So speaking of your younger years, like when I was younger, I'm still young, I know that, but one of the things that I didn't do regarding gratitude was the fact that I didn't appreciate the age I was at that point, for instance. And I wanted to ask you, if you could go back in time and speak to your younger self, knowing what you now know, what would you tell your younger self about gratitude?
So one thing is that we can, anytime, anywhen, we can speak to our younger self because it's always there anyway. So by all means, talking to your audience, do it because it's fun and it's very useful to help you change your now moment. So that's a side note.
Mhm.
Uh,
Awesome, thank you.
um, what would I tell him? Well, probably yes. I would agree with you. Is that when we're teenagers or young, we don't value where we are at. There are so many things that whether we want, and we're taught that way. The gifts that we're going to receive for Christmas or for our birthday, and what my friend has and I don't have it, and so on and so forth. Right? It's a beautiful training, not to be satisfied with what we have. Um, Plus the fact that when we're teenagers, we have all that revolution inside ourselves that makes it a bit more difficult still to be present to the now moment. So what I would definitely say to my younger self is uh, be there now for yourself and be grateful for the beautiful gifts that your parents are offering you, your teachers, your friends, for being there, not just because they're offering you something, just for being there, and be grateful for who you are. I think that's the best gift that we can give ourselves, which is to be grateful for who we are, and dare to allow ourselves to be more of ourselves. Uh, that's probably another one that I would say to my younger self. Something that I haven't done enough. We never do enough of that to allow ourselves to be more of ourselves.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. That's why I don't know if it's on the same idea that you're talking about, but generally speaking, creativity, expressing yourself creatively and bringing what you are, what's your unique gift into the world is something that feels great.
It is that, and it's more than that as well. It's when you're a teenager, for instance, there's so much social pressure around you that you don't dare to be whatever you're feeling inside. You don't dare to be it to the full extent. No, you're limiting yourself because of the perceived social pressure. And so it's, yes, definitely expressing all your creativity, but also saying, I am this, and this is my passion. Whatever happens elsewhere, I don't care. I'm going after that. But yes, it's totally that as well.
Yeah, wonderful, and wonderful. You're right. And the social pressure is really big when you're a teenager, and sometimes to fit in. I did this also. That's why I'm saying this. To fit in, you have to repress some sides of you, or um, like don't express who you are and what you are, and yeah, just to fit in, to be okay with other people. For instance, for me, it was really hard to get along with some of my high school colleagues, because um, the discussions were very superficial, and for me it got boring. And I wanted to have deeper talks, and to have more meaning in the discussions that we had. And yeah, it was hard for me to adapt to this. I don't know if
Yeah,
it was the case for
it's
you
not.
also.
Yeah, I totally understand. It was not for you to adapt. It's for you to allow more of the same, meaning, admitting that this is who you are and saying, I don't care for the rest and I will follow my lead. even if it's difficult at time, because one is estranged, right? Is put part, is more so in the US, I think, he's put aside of the group. And knowing that at one point or another that will be correcting itself, but we don't have that overview at that moment. That's for sure. We don't see that long.
But the beautiful thing is that I'm actually doing what I wished I would be able to do right now.
Yes.
So I did recreate the world in a way that fits me. Actually,
exactly.
To people that I resonate with deep talks and meaningful talks like the one we are having right now. So it turned out great, actually.
Yes, indeed, as it should be.
Yeah, exactly. So do you do something consistently to get you to be grateful? Do you have an activity or practice or something that
Well,
you do?
as I mentioned earlier, writing down like the 10 things I'm grateful for the day. I have also that instead of writing goals, I have gratitude goals. So in the sense of it's not like I want to get there, is I am grateful that this is already done.
Amazing.
Right? And that will unfold whenever is the right time to unfold. And so these are the two practices that I have.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I was thinking about this, and I also have a journal in which on one side there are the reasons I'm grateful for, and on the other, like you said, the gratitude goals, the things that I would like to be grateful for, that I would like to unfold in the future. And yeah, I think
Why put them apart?
Yeah, well, this is how the journal works.
But there's a mistake there. Well, it's not a mistake, but you're starting from the idea that it's not there, and which is from a being standpoint doesn't make sense, because it's whether there or not there, whenever that is, right? Whenever that there is. You might want to put all your different gratitudes, wherever it's from today, from yesterday, or from tomorrow, in the same bucket. Because this way there is a more distant chance that they're going to happen at some point or another.
All right. So as I understand it, you mix the thing that you are already grateful for in your life with the things that you know that will unfold by being grateful for them.
Yes, because from a being standpoint, there's no difference. It's just your mind that is separating them from one to the other, because some have already happened and some haven't happened yet. These are wishes or imaginations, but from a being standpoint, they are exactly the same thing.
Very interesting. I knew this as a theory, but now I think I get it a little bit.
Okay.
Deeper. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. So we're getting close to the end of our talk. What I wanted to ask you about, if you have some people in your life that you want to mention that you're grateful for.
Well, I am grateful for my wife, my amazing partner and wife, Roxana Jones, who is an amazing being that helps so many. So we're working together on HealThruWords, and she's also helping women to empower themselves, and she's an amazing being. I am also grateful for my kids, who are amazing beings just because, of course. And then I'm grateful for all the people that we can touch, help, connect with, and And more importantly, I'm grateful for all the people that we are able to serve now, yesterday, tomorrow, and for the amazing and beautiful transformations that will happen, and thanks to the content that we're putting out there. And we're grateful for the 200,000 members that we have today, to the 50 million people we've been able to reach so far. And we're grateful for being able to have that amazing and beautiful life that we have, with that amazing abundance that is surrounding us, so that we can reach out and bring more positivity and heartfulness to more people.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
What I'm also curious, if you have some people like that have had a positive impact in your life in different moments. Do you have people that come to mind?
You mean like authors or actual people that I've met?
Like, I don't know, teachers or people that appeared in your life in important moments, in moments in which you shifted directions or something like this.
Well, my wife again would be one of them. Who else? There are many people, but I kind of forgot their names. Probably there is an amazing author that I'm very grateful for. He's also a guru named Ramana Maharshi.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing content that has really helped me define more who I am. And then persons that have been, key in meeting them. There's an amazing gentleman named Dirk Alborn, who is the CEO of Hyperloop, who is an amazing guy. And there are many more, I'm sure, but the list would be long then.
I'm sure. I was thinking if someone pops into mind, it should be natural. You don't need to think about too many people, because I'm sure if we would have more time on this, you could name a lot.
Oh no, I have like probably a few dozens at least. It's just where do you put the threshold, and depending on the time we have, right?
Yeah, I know. So, do you have some books that you love and that will help people be more grateful?
Okay. Well, that's a very good question. So, books that helps people to be more grateful. Well, there is the book that I wrote. You named The Human Project. It's a small book. It's the story of angels becoming humans, and it is probably a good way to have where we're starting from, and possibly help people to become more grateful. I would then any book that shows us how beautiful Earth is, or humanity is, any inspirational book. Well, yes, Paulo Coelho is an amazing author in that arena. The Alchemist is absolutely amazing. I'm sure, and many, many, many more people. So that would be an amazing starting point. Help us to connect with that gratefulness inside. And even, I reread it like a few months ago, and still amazing. And Rumi is another one as well, that is also bringing the best in us out there. So these are the two authors that I would focus on.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. So my last question for you is, where can people find you? Where can people see your work?
So our website is HealThruWords, HealThru words, WORDS.com. We offer, so we're, as I was mentioning to you, we're working on an app right now. We are on beta test, and there will be an app just for gratitude, for people who want to practice more gratitude. So this is a place, so the app will help people to assess how positive they are and bring them a place of empowerment. So bringing them the tools to empower themselves and become more positive and letting go of negativity, and learning more about heartfulness and how to practice it.
So you can find it on your website on HealThruWords.
Not yet. When it will be ready, yes, definitely. And go to our website, subscribe there, and we'll tell you where, when it is ready from that standpoint. So there is that, and we also offer coaching, conscious tune-up, we call them, and so just for your audience, if they can contact us at info@healthruwords.com, we'll make a special price for them.
Oh, wonderful.
We would love to do that. And so any person who is looking to tune themselves in a new way, to connect to themselves and change their lives at all levels, from a professional and a personal standpoint, please do contact us, because we have a lot of practice and a lot of tools to help you do that. And so through this coaching, we can help you really change for the better your life. And we also have high-end programs for people who really want to make a big difference for themselves. It's a 4 weeks program, and it's online/offline. And the part offline is happening here in Sedona, in Arizona. So it's a beautiful setting, and a setting made for transformation. So you can find all this information on our website, and I look forward helping your audience wherever they want to become.
Sure. Thank you. So visit Arnaud's website. I'm sure he has also a lot of interesting things that you can find.
Oh yes, many.
You can find there. I've seen some of his videos. They are very beautifully made. I'm sure that you will enjoy them. And
and there is one. Sorry, if you subscribe to any of our list, you access to a special video. It's like 2 minutes that explains the power of words, and that it doesn't explain. It shows the actual impact it has, how it impacts our body and our environment, and so on and so forth. And it's really well done. Not because I did it; it's just because it translates very well the concepts that are needed to be understood, so that we are more careful with our words.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you, Arnaud, for your time and for what you shared with us today.
I am very grateful for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you.